This is In-Depth Radio Toronto, News Talk 1010. I'm Jim Richards. This is the showgram. We hope you had yourself a great weekend. We have a special guest who is, folks, this is his theme song. Many of you might know this song. Many of you might know who Review Raja is. Many of you might just have seen him on the CBC. I think it was the Only in Canada segment on the National you were on, right?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. They asked me to be on the National, which was a good chance for me to highlight Tamil cinema.
Yeah, so you're a 24-year-old guy. You're from Belleville, and you are renowned for being the foremost reviewer of Tamil cinema, correct?
That's correct.
Now, what's the difference between, it's called Collywood, right?
That's right.
I didn't even know anything about it. I've heard of Hollywood and Bollywood, but what is Collywood?
Well, it's funny. I was the exact same way. The first Tamil movie I saw, I said, wow, that was a good Bollywood movie. And my buddies were like, no, it's Collywood. So Collywood is different from Bollywood just because of the language. It sort of runs on the same, I guess, scheme in terms of the love plots and the dancing and all that. So you have Hindi-speaking movies, which is Bollywood, and then Collywood is Tamil-speaking movies.
Okay, but why do you go to, first of all, let's tell people how this happened before we talk about some of the things you're doing again. And you don't give your real name.
I do not.
You do not. Okay, Review Raja is a 24-year-old guy. He's from Belleville who reviews and spoofs Tamil cinema. So let's talk about how you became, you're probably as pasty white as the rest of us, right? I'm a pretty pasty white guy. But how do you become, folks, if you do not know, if you have any Tamil friends, tell them that you were listening to an interview with Review Raja and they'll know who the heck you're talking about. So how do you become a white guy who becomes renowned covering Collywood cinema?
Well, I'll first start by saying if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would have been doing this, I would have said, yeah, okay. Yeah. Good luck. So it started about a year and a half ago. I was hanging out with my buddy Rajiv Coogan and his brother Sanjeev, and I actually went to their home, and they're Tamil guys, and we watched. This is in Scarborough.
In Scarborough?
Yeah, so I went to their home, and they threw on a movie called Billa. And Billa is a gangster flick that you're going to have high energy, high action. And after we watched it, I was like, that was pretty cool. And it has a main star in Tamil cinema his name's Ajith Kumar. So that was a big deal to them. So after that, I watched a few more movies with them at their home. And then I went to my first Tamil cinema experience actually at the theater.
Okay, no offense, because I think we've all, in a multicultural area, we've all had friends who speak different languages or different religions, colors, whatever. But what turned you on about it so much that you wanted to go to because, it's kind of like guys played perhaps hockey until they realized, I could get more girls by picking up a guitar or learning how to DJ with a couple of turntables. So there was a girl involved here, no?
Oh, there wasn't, actually.
There wasn't a girl involved here, no?
So actually...
So you really liked it?
No, well, I did really like it, but what happened was I've always been the underdog in the sports teams. My teams were never that fantastic at it. And it's the same type of comparison when you compare Bollywood and Collywood. Collywood is not known by many people except the Tamil population. Yep. And Bollywood is known by the whole world because it's the biggest in the world, right? So I sort of went on the play as I wanted to bring Collywood up to the same standard and same awareness level.
Wait a second. You're going to your first movie thinking that you're going to actually... You had this idea to review Collywood movies after you went to your first movie?
That's correct. So what happened was after I saw a movie called Sagani, I was with my buddy Rajiv and Sanjeev, and they said, you know what? You're the only white friend we have that's ever taken an interest in Tamil cinema movies. And I said, that's pretty true. And they said, you know what? You could be a legend. You could review the films. And I said, well, I do have interest in them, so why don't we give it a shot? And that's how it was born. We went at it, started filming, and it blew up from day one.
After seeing the first movie in a cinema.
That's right.
With your friends.
Now let me tell you a little bit about the cinema experience, though, because if there's ever a reason to go see a Tamil film, it's because the crowd is insane. I'm talking, you might hear 50% of the movie because the crowd is actually screaming screaming, yelling every time their favorite actor comes on screen. So it's interesting.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, are there subtitles, or how did you figure it out?
Yeah, there's subtitles. So I rely on subtitles there's one specific lady that I met in India, actually. Her name's Rakes, and she does all the subtitling. So
Now, okay, that's something that I don't get. It's Tamil cinema, and yet you go to India, where I thought Bollywood was. So why are you going to India?
So there's different. So Bollywood's in the north, and then Collywood's in the south. So when I went there, I actually went to do a bit of a fan tour, but also to experience the culture. For me, I'm talking about their culture like I'm living it, but in order to give a better perspective, I wanted to go to India. So I went there. I met all the actors, production
And
houses.
did they know who you were?
They all know who I was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so when I went there, it was actually pretty surreal. I did a fan meet and greet at the mall, and it got so big that security had to come out, and I was just like a bit mind-boggling to a kid that grew up in Belleville with 45,000 people, and 98% of them were white. So
and all these people, we'll talk about people knowing who you are. I want to give out your website right now. Actually, we'll link it on the Jim Richards page of News Talk 1010, raja.com, RAJA.com. You don't give out your real name, but how did you come up with that name?
So Review Raja actually translates to Review King. So when we set it,
Raja is
I
obviously
wanted
king.
to be the king of Tamil cinema reviews. So that's how it all sort of came into play. We branded everything, and we were off to the races.
Did I give the right website?
It's actually reviewraja.com.
Okay, it's reviewraja.com is the website, and we'll link it on to the Jim Richards page of News Talk 1010. So, you had a day job. What was that? By the way, we're with Review Raja, who is the king of reviewing Tamil cinema. That's called Collywood. And again, if you know any people who are Tamil, tell them that you're listening to an interview with Review Raja, and they'll freak out. They'll pee their pants and all sorts of different stuff. So what was your day job before you decided to do this full time? So
I've always had a bit of a passion for online marketing. So I was actually managing a consulting practice where I was crafting different strategies from an online perspective to get brands out there, so on YouTube and all these type of things. So it was right up my wheelhouse.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll take a break here, and in a second we'll find out, did Review Raja quit his day job to take this on full time? What kind of money is there in reviewing Tamil cinema? That in a second here. It's In-Depth Radio Toronto, News Talk 1010. I'm Jim Richards with Review Raja on the showgram on the aforementioned radio station. It's In-Depth Radio Toronto, News Talk 1010. I'm Jim Richards, and many of you might know that music. It's Review Raja, who has a website. He reviews and spoofs Tamil cinema. It's reviewraja.com. 78 million Tamil-speaking people in India, and Canada's got the second largest population of Tamil-speaking people, correct?
That's correct.
And so this is a pretty huge market. Again, this is a kid from Belleville who then spent some time growing up in Scarborough and got an affinity for reviewing Tamil cinema and is world-renowned. You're world-renowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's international.
Do you get recognized all the time, even in Toronto?
I do, yes.
Does a day go by where you don't get recognized?
A couple days go by, but I'll be walking through the Eden Center. People will run up to me to get some pictures, so it's pretty interesting. But I will say, walking off the plane in India was just crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that in a second. When you get the website up and going after you watched your first movie and reviewed it, how quickly did the thing catch fire? Because how long have you been doing it? You've been doing it?
It's about 7-8 months now.
7 or 8 months?
Yep.
And you're this big after 7 or 8 months?
Yeah. This is just the beginning.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So how quickly did it get going?
Day one, me and my buddies actually said, Rajiv said to me, this is either going to take off through the roof or it's not going to go anywhere. And that was going to be sort of our determining factor, right? So after we released the first film, within one day, I think it had 45,000 views, and we were like, whoa. From being not known yesterday to going to 45,000 views, that secured in our minds that this is something we need to pursue.
How much of that is because wasn't a market that was tapped into, or maybe it was, and that you're a white guy who is recognizing Tamil movies.
Yeah, it's probably more so the white thing because it's so intriguing to people that they think I'm out to get them or I'm out to do something bad to the industry by doing this to exploit them. But in reality,
you're not mocking. I mean, you do spoofs, but you're not mocking it, although you might be doing a parody, but it's not because you do like it.
I love it. I actually try to simulate the exact same scene I see in the movies. So sometimes it comes across funny, but I am actually trying to act in that. And because of that, I actually got some movie opportunities.
But you don't speak Tamil.
I don't speak Tamil.
And yet, 78 million people in India know who the heck you are, and here in Canada as well. So do these people speak English, or are there subtitles back to Tamil on your
No,
videos?
a lot of people, for the majority of them, they actually do speak very good English, so they appreciate it because I'm trying to actually target not even so much the Tamil population, but people that don't speak Tamil and people that would actually have never seen a movie. I want to get them interested. So.
Review Raja is with us. He is a 24-year-old kid from Belleville who is now world-renowned as a guy who spoofs Tamil cinema, which is called Collywood, and also does reviews of those movies. We were talking about the fact that you had a day job, and we teased into the commercial break whether or not you quit your day job. You did quit your day job, and now you're doing this full-time. What do your parents say when you say that to them?
Well, they think I'm crazy. Sometimes they say, as if this is your chosen career path after all these years. I went to Ryerson University and got my BCom, and they're seeing it put to use in a not so typical way that you would think, right? So my dad actually loves India. He wants to retire there one year. So basically for him, this is fun because he got to actually go to India and meet all the actors and explore that with me. And my mom she's always supportive. So that's
when
a
you
good
have
thing.
78 million people, how many hits on your website do you have a day?
On our website, that's for my techie side of the things, but we get about, it depends. On a good movie, a very popular movie, we'll get anywhere from 100,000 to 250,000 hits, and then on a mediocre movie, it usually rounds up to about 50,000.
And so how many videos do you put out a day? Or not a day, a week?
We try and put one out a week, but the production quality is really high, right?
Yeah.
So it takes about 30 hours every video.
And have you been able to monetize it?
Yeah, so we monetize through YouTube, but it's obviously not a lot of money. So we're just exploring different ways to actually fund this project because it's our passion, right? So
how many people are involved?
There's 4 of us. I have a cinematographer named Arjun Mano. I have a motion graphics guy, Wes McDonald, and then Rajiv Coogan. He does all the editing and website stuff. So.
All right. We'll find out what's up next for Review Raja in a second. Let's take a break here and come back with more here on In Depth Radio in Toronto, News Talk 1010. It's In Depth Radio, Toronto, News Talk 1010. That song again is the theme song for Review Raja. The website is reviewraja.com. That's reviewraja.com. He's a kid here from Belleville, and he has become the biggest reviewer of Tamil cinema, which is called Collywood, in the world. So you go off to India to meet the people and to do some movie stuff. What's it like getting off the plane and being recognized?
Oh, it was such a culture shock for me when I got off the plane and saw thousands of people, had to jump in a rickshaw and then head downtown. It was just...
Were you being swarmed?
Yeah, so at the airport, there was people to meet me there, so that was pretty cool. My fans were there. And then I did a bunch of meet and greets while I was there. But the coolest part was how the actors and the producers all welcomed me. I mean, they had a surprise birthday party for me while I was there that consisted of A-list celebrities, producers, directors. It was probably the coolest birthday I've ever had in my life.
What have you done for Tamil cinema?
So far, what I've done is my mission statement, you probably saw it on my website, is bringing Tamil cinema to the world. So I've created awareness in Canada, in the UK, across India, and I've really stimulated, I guess, traffic to the theaters. So that's a good thing.
And you had an opportunity to actually act in some of the Tamil movies when you were over in India?
Yeah, so while I was there, I got approached by a couple of the directors to act in their films. So it's that's all in the works right now. Planning to go back to India probably in the month of May and do some of those things. Maybe team up with a TV channel there as well.
Has this started to pay off for you yet?
It's slowly starting to. I mean, with anything, right? It's like starting your own business. It takes probably a year to get going, but I mean, at least I'm able to sustain myself and keep reinvesting in our videos. So that's
are you? I was going to say, are you getting laid off of it? I think I can say that. Are you?
Am I? Oh, I have a girlfriend, so.
Is she Tamil?
She's not.
She's not. What does she make of it?
But she's actually acted in a couple of them with me.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, she did a music video. I did a Tamil music video, so she was in on that. That was pretty awesome. And then she's actually starting to get Bollywood gigs and music videos from that. So she's blown up on the other side.
How long have you been going on with her?
4.5 years.
So she's gonna stick around for a while?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What did she?
As long as she's cool with moving to India, right?
Are you gonna move to India?
No, maybe in the future.
But what did she think of this when you started doing it?
She thought that I was off my rocker, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, "What the heck, you're doing Tamil movie reviews?" And I said, "Yeah, it's a cool thing." I actually brought her to her first movie, and she was cheering with me in the theater, and then she did the first review with me, and now she's hooked too, so I got her in.
When you walk the streets here in Toronto, does a day go by where you don't get recognized?
Not really. I mean, all through the GTA, especially when I'm down in the downtown core, people through the Eden Center on the streets come and greet me and take pictures, so it's pretty cool.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's quite the interesting story, and it's only 7 months in. Do you think there's any burnout here? I mean, are you worried that there might be some burnout?
Well, you always have to worry about it, right? Because you're putting so much time and effort into it. You have to keep reinventing yourself all the time. So that's where we're at now. We're sort of in a planning stage where we can't just keep doing reviews. We need to do some fun things to keep people entertained. So expect some interesting videos coming your way.
Review Raja, RajaA.com. Again, a kid from Belleville who now is... the king to 78 million Tamil-speaking people in India, and here in Canada, the second biggest Tamil population in the world. This is In Depth Radio in Toronto, News Talk 1010. I'm Jim Richards. And I'm